Hello, everybody. Unfortunately, Miss Salatino has to be out for today. So we're going to do a little sub project. We were going to be painting today, but that's a lot to put on a sub, and it's very messy, and it's a lot of work, and I don't want to do that to a sub. So we are going to be doing an activity that the kindergartners are currently doing because you're one grade above them. I know that you guys will be able to handle it, and you probably actually do an even nicer job. So it's, at the same age level that's still appropriate for you guys, and I know you guys will rock it. All right, so we're going to be doing a project based on Romero Britto, and this is him here. Okay, here are our learning targets for today. All right, I can create emphasis and contrast. I can create patterns, and I can act responsibly and make good choices. So you know that you are successful if by the end of class you can create styles and patterns in the style of Romero Britto. You can use color to create emphasis and contrast. We'll talk about that in a moment. And you can act responsibly and make good choices by using your tools and materials properly. All right, Romero Britto. All right, let's talk all about this fabulous, fun artist. Okay, so he is a Brazilian pop artist that was born in 1963. He's a painter, a screen printer, meaning he does artwork on t-shirts and other kinds of fabrics, so t-shirts, hoodies, bags, anything with a fabricy kind of material. That's how they get those fun designs on your clothes. And he's also a sculptor. What makes him unique is he likes to use bright colors with very large chunky patterns and high contrast. So high contrast, we'll talk about that in a moment. He likes to make artwork about hopes, dreams, and happiness. All right, so first we're going to talk about a pattern. You guys should know what a pattern is because we've talked about this many times, but if you still don't, pattern is the element of art that repeats. You can create patterns with lines, shapes, or colors. So dash, 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 dash is a line pattern, or circle, square is a shape pattern, or red, yellow, blue is a color pattern. All right, let's talk about contrast. All right, because he uses a lot of contrast. Contrast is when you have opposites next to one another. And we can create contrast by using complementary colors. So as you can see on Marilyn Monroe here, this is from a different artist, by Andy Warhol. But you can see down here how the artist uses hot pink with that bright yellow with the lighter pink, and it creates this contrast. It makes it pop and stand out, and it catches your eye because they're using those bright colors next to one another. So complementary colors. These are colors that sit across from one another on the color wheel. And when you have them next to one another, they create contrast. They make each other stand out. Okay, so here are some different complementary color combinations. Red and green, magenta and light green, purple and yellow, blue and orange. So these are all the different color combinations that we can use in your artwork to create contrast. So here is our project for today. I think we might just work on this just for today, and maybe can take it home. I don't know. I'll have you leave them with me, and we'll figure out what's going on at the end of the day. Oh, Amelia, are you okay? Yeah, Amelia's not feeling so good. Okay, so here's our project. We're going to get to create a fun work of art in the style of Romero Britto, and you get to choose from one of these three designs. So I've got this awesome love. So this is a famous sculpture in, I think it's Philadelphia, where it says love and the O is kind of crooked and it's stacked up on one another. So you've got the love, the heart, or this scrumptious cupcake. For this project, Miss Salatino chose the heart. And as you can see in each of these different sections, there's a different pattern. And I'm using really bright, bold, complementary colors to make those sections stand and pop out. All right, here are the different levels of craftsmanship. You know, Miss Valentino's a stickler for for good craftsmanship. So this one here, not so good. I did all three of these, but this one is not so good. This one is very sloppy. I didn't stay in the lines. My patterns, I used the same one over and over again. I didn't use bright, bold colors. I didn't fill in the paper all the way. I scribbled. It looks rushed and messy. Yuck. No thank you. All right, this one over here, a little bit better, but it's still not quite there. I still use the same three patterns over and over again. I did use some different colors. This time I did stay in the lines, but I colored the patterns all in the same color. I didn't make like the hearts a different color than the background or the circles a different color than the background. They all have the same color and it's nice, but it's boring, all right? This is what we're looking for. This is what I want everyone to achieve. I would like to see different patterns in each of the backgrounds, okay? So I used at least, 5 or 6 different patterns, where over here I only used 3. It is okay to repeat patterns. You just don't want to have them side by side. So for example, I have heart patterns in 3 different spots, but they are not sitting next to one another. Oh, are you okay? Okay. But they are not sitting next to one another on the worksheet. Okay. I also used really bright colors, and I didn't have the same colors next to one another. So I didn't have red next to red. I tried to make sure that my colors were all different. All right. Okay. So let's get into this a little bit more. Lower level. All right. Here's the problem. Sloppy coloring. I didn't stay in the lines. There's white paper in the background showing through. I only used 3 colors. I used the same patterns over and over again, and I didn't use the contrasting colors. Again, medium coloring's a little bit neater. I did stay in those lines, but I still only used 3 colors, and I still only used 3 patterns. Last but not least, and I know we just talked about this, but it doesn't hurt to reiterate it. Coloring's really neat. I stayed in the lines. I stayed in the lines. I used many colors. I used many patterns and lots of contrasting and bright colors. Amelia, I know you can't see this, but she is very excited about this one, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, so here are the steps of your project. In a moment, you are going to get to choose one of the 3 worksheets. For this example, Ms. Salatino chose the heart template. You are first going to use and make patterns with the black Crayola marker, not the Sharpies, okay? So the black Crayola markers. You are going to do a different pattern in each section. So anytime you hit a line, it should be a different pattern. We are only coloring on our paper. We are not coloring on Miss Salatino's tables. We are not coloring on our friends or on ourselves or on our clothes, only on our paper. Which also reminds me, please make sure that when you are using a marker, you have a placemat underneath your paper. All right, so once you get your paper, you're going to do your different patterns. Now, you don't have to use the patterns at the bottom. I kind of cut it out of this picture, but at the bottom there was like 4 examples. You can do more different patterns. So I put in some loop-de-loops. I put in some zigzags. You do not have to use just those patterns. Those are just some examples to choose from. After that, we're going to start to add color. All right, so again, we're going to use those complementary colors to create these really fun and bright, patterns to help them stand out. All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about is you can create value with the same color crayon. So what I mean by that is you can create a darker color by putting more pressure, by pushing down on the crayon. You're not going to push so hard that you're breaking Miss Salatino's crayons, but enough that it creates a darker color. And you can see that in here on the zigzags. I pushed a little bit harder to create that darker pinky purple. Same thing around the flowers here, okay? And it creates a really nice fun effect. It's a good way to finish off your design. So I would like to see some of that too. Okay, so in a moment, what I would like you to do is your teacher is going to pick one person to be a line leader. We're going to get in a nice straight line, and you are going to get to choose one of the 3 worksheets. When you get your worksheet, you are going to grab a black marker and you're immediately going to put your name at the bottom of your paper. Then you will start your patterns and eventually add in color. This should take the whole class. If you are done in 10 minutes, I give the teacher full permission to send you back and redo it. These should look nice. I expect good craftsmanship out of all of you because I know you guys are capable of it. All right, make me proud, and I will see you guys next class. Amelia says goodbye. She doesn't know how to talk because she's 7 months old. Have a good class, guys. Bye.